The juice is loose, and I give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. Want to know why? Stick around to find out. After a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is turned upside down when her teenage daughter Astrid accidentally opens the portal to the afterlife. And as the plot starts to keep going and going, Lydia finds herself in a place of, well, she needs some help. And who else does she turn to? Beetlejuice. This is just a chaotic spectacle of Tim Burton going all out. After a couple misses from Tim Burton over the last, feels like, decade, this movie feels more like a return to form of that classic feel that Tim Burton would give us, bringing back the humor and style that made his earlier work so distinctive. That said, it's not without its flaws. The biggest issue that I have with this film is a lack of focus, specific story elements that just felt a bit convoluted. And with that said, I can still enjoy a film, think it's good, and have some issues with it. So people, please do not take this as if I hate this movie or I just think it's okay. I still had a good time with this.
I don't believe this. I don't believe you.
For example, we have a villain played by Monica Bellucci with a great presence who only shows up for a couple of moments until the final 10-15 minutes of the film. We're also introduced to more new characters like Willem Dafoe playing an afterlife detective who used to be an actor who's trying to bring his skill sets in being an actor while also being a detective. Every time he's on screen, you just fall in love with this character. I mean, every time he just had a line or he was rehearsing something because of his assistants giving him the lines, trying to make sure it fits perfectly for this specific scene that he is in, rehearsing, it worked. But despite saying that, his screen time is very limited because there are so many other characters that you need to go back to. But the main issue that I have with all these convoluted things happening is specifically a family arc that deals with the character of Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega, who is great in this movie and great in this role. It's between her and her father. The emotional payoff felt a bit underwhelming given the setup. It was there, it was consistent, and I felt every single time Jenna Ortega had a scene with her mom, Winona Ryder, who's also great in this, where she's just genuinely confused about why she can't see her father in the afterlife, but her mom can see all these other ghosts that mean nothing to her. It created a lot of beautiful moments that could have had an even better payoff when you get to a certain scene near the third act. They kind of just say, hey, we're here. Okay, now it's time to leave. Despite saying that, this movie is just fun. That's what worked about the original, and it still carries that weird, wacky world Burton created in 1988. The return of beloved characters, the introduction of new ones, and the expansion of this world gives this sequel a bigger, more vibrant feel. 2 standout performances that I must talk about. Obviously, the great Michael Keaton replaying his role, Beetlejuice, and Catherine O'Hara, who steals every single scene that she is in. She's witty, she's quick with it. Everything about that character from the first one, it makes so much sense for this sequel with where she's at currently. It's surprising to remember that Keaton had only 15 to 20 minutes of screen time in the original, and here it's about the same. And I'm completely fine with that. This was a great choice because every moment we get of him feels earned and hilarious. I'll even say this sequel is funnier than the first one. That doesn't mean it's better. That's something I will have to take time to really think about. But as an overall experience from beginning to end, I just had a really good time with this movie. Beetlejuice as a character fluctuates between protagonist and antagonist, bringing an infectious energy to every scene. And I already mentioned this character, but Willem Dafoe does add a presence of comedy to this film that builds up to more opportunities for jokes. And then there's Justin Theroux as Lydia's manager/boyfriend, who plays a sissy man-child with ulterior motives. He also adds a lot of opportunities of humor, specifically with relationship sequences with him and Winona Ryder, where they're deciding on where they should move on for their relationship. Sprinkle in some Jenna Ortega being a sassy daughter, you get some gold. And I cannot go on with this review without at least mentioning Winona Ryder. She's exceptional in this, playing a very different approach to this character than I actually anticipated. Reserved, shy and timid version of the Lydia that we knew back in the original, who is also very to herself, and she is very much like that in the sequel, less confidence in her. And there's a purpose for that. And when you add that depth to her being a mother to Jenna Ortega's Astrid, there's some pretty unique sequences between the both of them. Overall, despite its issues, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is just plain fun. Michael Keaton clearly had a blast creating hell for the other characters and enjoyment for us as Beetlejuice. The world got bigger, the jokes land harder, and I'm glad the juice got loose. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, but most importantly, do not forget to be blessed.